Okay, so a little bit of context before the video starts. This is actually a final project slash essay of sorts. As some of you guys know, I've been taking a communications class on theme park design and the amusement industry and how it can be used as a medium of storytelling. And over the course of this class, everyone in the class has sort of been separated into groups, and the class as a whole has been tasked with designing a theme park, and every group was given a specific land that they would have to make. Our group ended up getting the desert, and we had to come up with food stands, rides, attractions, everything that would fill up this land, and we had to explain how we would theme it and everything like that. So this is sort of a final presentation slash essay showing off what we've made for the class. I put together a little rendering in Planet Coaster for visual aid, though I might use some footage from YouTube or anything like that to illustrate any other points that I may need to get across. So here's what our group came up with, and I hope you guys enjoy it. In the desert section of the park, you'll find the land of Woterra. The name Woterra is a portmanteau of wote, the Swahili word for all, and ter, a Latin root word meaning earth or land. As this name implies, Woterra is a representation of deserts from all over the world. The design of this land is heavily influenced and inspired by several sources. These include the Old West, extreme sports, ancient Egypt, mining, drilling, rocky cliffs, and testing facilities. However, while each of these elements can fit in a desert theme, the wide variety can create a lack of cohesion in terms of theming. It would be weird if you were racing high-tech motorcycles at a testing facility one minute, and then the next minute you're riding an out-of-control mine train in an Old West ghost town. Because of this, something else is needed to ensure that all aspects of the land are connected. Story. Of all the aspects of a theme park, one of the most important yet underrated is story. It has the power to immerse guests in a way that nothing else really can. For proof of this, look no further than the work of Walt Disney Imagineering and their Khan Academy course, Imagineering in a Box. Early on in the course, Imagineers state that the most important aspect of any themed land is how every single aspect of it will connect to the theme and story.
Every time we start a new project, we always ask ourselves, what is the story?
Treasure Cove is a hypothetical island we created, set in the Caribbean. And our story is it started as an obscure Spanish settlement, which was later taken over by the British, and then turned into a happy pirate haven when Captain Jack Sparrow and his crew arrived.
With this philosophy in mind, we decided to write an overarching backstory for the land of Woterra. In ancient times, the only inhabitants of Woterra were its natives, who heavily modeled their society off of Egyptian culture at the time. So much so that they even worshipped the same gods and deities and even built temples for them. Despite the harsh climate, the natives were able to thrive thanks to their use of the single large river running through Woterra as a source of irrigation. For centuries, the natives lived in Woterra without incident, but this all changed when an entrepreneur by the name of Jonathan Berner discovered Woterra for himself on his search for coal and oil. Much to Berner's surprise, he found that Woterra was rich with these materials, and so, almost overnight, Woterra would change forever. Berner would establish mining and drilling operations in Woterra, which would make him an incredibly wealthy man, and before long, a town began to grow. A town that would be known as Berner's Gulch. While things were going well for the people of Berner's Gulch and the man himself, their disruptive presence was wreaking havoc on the environment, eventually driving the native Woterrans from their home. Berner, however, would thrive for years to come, even going so far as to construct a specialized mine train to aid in the harvesting of resources and keep up with the demand. But eventually, these resources would start to dry up, and Berner could feel his empire slipping away. Desperate to find more and keep his business afloat, he decided to dig underneath one of the abandoned Woterran temples, despite the warnings from his superstitious workers. It was at this point when a massive earthquake shook Woterra to its core. To this day, no one knows for sure what caused it, but some say that by trespassing and defacing the temple, Berner had incurred the wrath of Anubis, god of death. The mine train had been left a twisted mess, Berner's Gulch was destroyed and subsequently abandoned, and Berner just disappeared. And for nearly a century after, it seemed that Woterra would remain nothing but a wasteland. But this all changed with the grandson of Jonathan Berner, Jonathan Berner III. Feeling a sense of obligation to rectify the wrongs of his grandfather, Jonathan Berner III established Berner Industries, a company dedicated to environmental protection and eco-friendly transportation solutions. The company would establish its headquarters in Woterra to provide ample space for tests and experiments to be performed. In addition, millions of dollars would be pumped into returning Woterra to its former natural glory, all while preserving remnants of its past. And this is where the most important characters in this story come into play: the guests. To help fund further research and raise awareness for his cause, Berner has decided to open his facility to the public, inviting everyone to experience the innovations of Berner Industries firsthand and learn more about the past of Woterra. And maybe buy a t-shirt or two. The mine train has been completely refurbished and is completely 100% definitely safe. Nothing dangerous at all about it. And guests are also able to explore the Anubis temple for themselves in a tour. I mean, come on, it can't possibly be cursed, right? As is made evident by the timeline of events in Woterra's backstory, every attraction is a piece of a much larger story. This is known as peppering, a story technique which is further elaborated on in David Younger's book, Theme Park Design and the Art of Themed Entertainment. In addition to using this story to immerse guests, we also wanted to use storytelling in Woterra to educate in an entertaining and impactful way. In addition to the main attractions in Woterra, guests also have the opportunity to witness demonstrations of how cutting-edge technology is being used to undo damage that we've done to the environment. This is very similar to what guests can find at Epcot at Walt Disney World, something that is discussed further in the book Power and Paradise in Walt Disney's World by Cher Krause Knight. We chose to emulate this aspect of Epcot for the park because we felt it would be a perfect fit for a park themed to the climates of the world. The story of Woterra isn't just a story of the land itself. It's also a story of mankind's relationship to nature, how we've lived with it, how we've destroyed it, and how we're trying to fix it.